And the next line says, those who worship knowledge will enter greater darkness. Some time ago, one student asked that in the Upanishads, there are so many stories, mention of so many people getting realizing their true nature. Just as a matter of fact, it is mentioned. He contemplated and then he realized himself. That's all. In Upanishads. So one student asked me that why in the Upanishad times, why in those ancient times, it was happening so easily. There were so many people for whom this was happening. And why it is so difficult now? I told her very simple answer first. Told her because now there are Upanishads. In those times, Upanishads were not there. In those times, they didn't have Upanishads to sit and study. There was nothing easily available for them to read and acquire knowledge. So the paradox is that in the Upanishad times, Upanishads were not there, and that gave a certain intensity to seekers, that gave a certain directionlessness to seekers, that gave a certain inner burning to seekers, and that led to something for them. In the Upanishad times, people were burning with questions. In our times, people are full of confident answers from the Upanishads, not from anywhere else. They will read the Upanishads, they will see what some teacher said, one or two verses will be there, and some commentary will be there. And they think that I haven't got the answer. Their question, their intensity, their burning, all will be soothed. And this is the paradox. Only somebody who is uncertain, only somebody who is burning with a state of question will come to knowing, will come to a state of realization. Only a state of question can lead to a realization. An answer can never lead to any realization. Because answers are made up of words, and for you, the words can only refer back to what is already in your experience, which means your psychological framework. Nothing more than that will happen to you. You may acquire new words, words from other language also. That is another reason why knowledgeability comes, because now our language is different. That language is Samskrita, our language is different, and therefore when you study, you have questions. And when you, in the name of exploring, in the name of getting solution for this, if you read something written in some other language, that will give you a bigger sense of knowledgeability actually, because now you are studying another language, you're studying vocabulary of that, you're trying to understand the meanings of that. Finally, the meanings of those words you have to again understand in whatever language you are using, English, Kannada, or whatever. Sanskrit will finally come to your language only now. So finally, the words will refer back to what is in your experience, and you will remain in that psychological framework. Nothing more will happen. So in the Upanishad times, people were full of uncertainty, people were full of questions. Whereas in our times, people are full of confident answers. In Upanishad times, it was filled with seekers. In our times, we are filled with scholars. And that is why it is not happening easily. Otherwise, it would happen even now. And therefore, knowledge will take you to a greater darkness than ignorance can. And that is why I coined that new word, ignorance. It is greater than ignorance because ignorance still exists and there is an assumption of knowledge. And therefore, it is neither ignorance nor a knowing. It is a hallucinatory state which is taking you away from reality itself. See, ignorance is reality. The force of ignorance is a reality. The thirst that it is bringing up in you is a reality. But if you bring about a state of knowledgeability in you with words, if you say, I know, you are now going away into a reality which doesn't even exist. When the fact is ignorance, you are making up a reality, saying, I know, and remaining there confidently with lot of certainty. Now you are dwelling in a hallucinatory realm of your thought. Now, this is the opposite of life itself. You have gone away from life itself, you have gone into the realm of thought. And this is greater darkness. And people can dwell in it for a whole lifetime without knowing. Confidence. In a very, very crude way, that is what you see in religious people. They have been given a book, they have read that book, and you look at the confidence that they are in. Still, there is ignorance. There is absolutely nothing new in their experience. They have absolutely nothing more in their experience than anybody else around them. But just because they have read a book, look at the confidence in them. Some information has been given, some sentences from many, many centuries ago has been told. And now just because they have read those few words, that thirst is entirely gone in that human being. Now, actually, they are machine-like. There is so much certainty, so strong belief in them, that spark of being human itself is gone, kind of. There is that spark of wanting to know, wanting to explore, that life spark itself is gone. A tremendous confidence will come.